What's new, guys? It's build day here at WCCF Tech TV, and what we are building is what we're going to be referring to as Apollo Ridge. Now, Apollo Ridge is not some crazy over-the-top build, nor is it going to be a super tiny ITX form factor like what most people have been working on. But it is an AMD Ryzen 5 2400G build that we will be using here on the channel and on the site as well for all of our APU tests. See, if you followed the channel for quite some time, there was a period where we tested new game releases on the APU series. We did Battlefield 1 was a big success, Resident Evil 7, as well as even Watch Dogs 2 to see if we could get it to run on just an APU. So we've retired the A10 and we're hoping that the A12 would be able to replace it when it came along on the AM4 platform, and well, it was pretty much worthless. So that brings us where we are today. This is our Ryzen 5 2400G build, and it is not another ITX build, so sorry if you were looking for that. Nor is this a build guide. This is just us building the system and sharing with you what the specs are and how we're going to be using it. But we do want to go through those parts right now. So of course we've got the Ryzen 5 2400G. I did debate quite a bit on what cooler to use. I thought about using an all-in-one liquid cooler. I thought about using a Hyper 212 Evo, or even something like the Arctic Freezer, the esports Freezer 1. But what I decided to start with was use the included cooler because I have yet to use the Wraith Stealth, and we'll see how well it goes and generate baseline performance numbers for cooler upgrades, because we will be upgrading the cooler. We just don't know with what yet. Love to hear your feedback on that, so I'll set that to the side. As far as memory, I already had a kit of G.Skill Flare X RAM. Now I know a lot of people are using this, and this was sent to us by G.Skill quite some time ago for our Ryzen 7 test bench, and we'll get to the speeds on this later and how we'll be testing it. As far as storage, right now we're going to be using the Toshiba OCZ TR150. This is a 480 gig SSD, and we'll be using it for all of our storage because we're not going to keep a lot of games on it. This isn't going to be used for anything other than APU testing and, well, be my home theater PC when not in use. So set that to the side here. Power supply, we're using the EVGA 600W because I got about 5 of these from Best Buy for about 30 bucks a piece. So I always grab them when they're on sale. They're a good solid 80 plus rated power supply, and for this build it's more than enough. As well as if you were building a replica of this build, it would have enough power to pretty much run along whatever GPU you wanted to pair with it outside of a Vega class card. Which motherboard wise, because this isn't an ITX build and we're going to have room for growth, you know, GPU, additional memory, storage, what have you, I did go with a B350 Tomahawk. Not only because I already had it in stock, but I really do like this board and have been anxious to use it for APUs. The only downside is the video out is reserved for VGA, DVI, and HDMI. But remember, with FreeSync, there are quite a few FreeSync HDMI monitors. And this behind me is the Silverstone Raven RXV01 case that we'll be putting it in. And unfortunately, it is not the windowed model that we ordered, but it comes in rather window-free design, which in its own right will help hide the confetti spaghetti that comes with the 600W. So with that all out of the way, let's get into the actual build. And that's about where we had to cut the video short because it was right where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Actually, nothing really went wrong. The problem with this particular case is that it's not a new case. It's not like this did just come out. So if you're seeing this for the first time, it's just that it's been kind of in the background. This is a Silverstone's budget case. I mean, I got this thing off Newegg for $60. So, I mean, even cheaper than an S340. I did leave the side panel off even though we're done just because you wouldn't be able to see the inside. But there is no room behind the motherboard tray. So all of the cables are literally stuffed in there. Like right in here behind the hard drive tray. So they're all right there. Otherwise, the build was, it was very different to build in this case because, again, the motherboard tray is rotated with the I/O coming out of the top like you saw in the video. And honestly, I like it. I like it. It's very different. It's not a big case at all. It's probably, if you took like an S340 and you knocked it over, that's about what you're looking at. We do have 320mm air penetrator fans in the bottom blowing air straight up, and it all just comes straight up and out the top. We did do the power supply facing inward, so it's getting filtered air. The rear intake for the power supply is not filtered, so I wanted to make sure we just kept a filter because does have a removable dust filter on the bottom. So it helps keep the insides a bit clean. Again, cable management got a little funky. It'll clean up just a little bit if we get like an M.2. Not sure just what we're going to do long-term storage solution, but that's in there for now. And everything is kind of as is. So with that, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to go over here and get started on doing some benchmarks with the 2400G on the Wraith Stealth cooler. Not really thrilled about the cooler, but it can be swapped out easily enough. So this is Big Keith with WCCF Tech TV. Let us know what games you'd like to see us test out at various settings. I don't mind taking quite a bit of time doing that. And I do know Wolfenstein will be coming soon, Wolfenstein 2. So, again, thank you, and we'll catch you in the next video.